Bycatch. It affects our marine animals, our reefs, our ecosystems. The official definition of bycatch used by the Australian Government and Commonwealth is that part of a fish's catch which is returned to the sea, either because it has no commercial value or because regulations preclude it being retained, and that part of the catch that does not reach the deck of the fishing vessel but is affected by interaction with the fishing gear. This means any species which was not meant to be caught that either becomes trapped or dies. These animals become tangled in nets or caught on hooks because they are attracted to the bait or what is being caught, their ability to avoid entanglement, and the fishery's effort to avoid contact with these species. Many of these animals are freed, noticed by the fishermen and released back into the ocean. However, some aren't that lucky. Bycatch is not an overly publicised problem. Even when beginning research, it took me a while to gain a good grasp on it. Australian sea lions, dolphins, sharks, small whales, marine turtles, seabirds, and fish that are caught out of season, have no commercial value or that are deemed too small, are all affected by bycatch. It is a problem to these animals because when mortality occurs, it can cause a decrease in already endangered species numbers. An example of this is the Australian sea lion. They can only reproduce one pup every 17 to 18 months, and when 52% of the sea lions which die are females, they cannot reproduce fast enough to sustain their numbers. Organisations such as the World Wildlife Fund and Save Our Sea Foundation all have pages dedicated to what bycatch is and what is being done to stop it. In Australia, we can see solutions put in place by the Commonwealth and the government. The National Policy on Fisheries Bycatch was released along with the Commonwealth Policy on Fisheries Bycatch, which puts in place plans to help reduce bycatch in Australia. Two major parts of these were the introduction of compulsory bycatch reduction devices and action plans. Three main types of bycatch reduction devices include turtle excluded devices, sea lion excluded devices, and fish escape devices. These have all been effective in keeping down the bycatch numbers. In Western Australia, the Pilbara trawl fishery was allocated an action plan in 2010 due to their high rates of dolphin mortality. These action plans include the types of nets the vessels are allowed to use and how deep they are allowed to fish. The objective of this plan is to reduce the interaction the Pilbara vessels have with dolphins to subsequently reduce their dolphin mortality rate. Western Australian fisheries now pose a low threat to protected species as the action plans the fishing industry and government have taken are definitely working. While we see a reduction, bycatch definitely has not been eradicated, and there are still holes in the fishing system. Logbooks, in which fishermen have to keep track of all animal interactions, are not always reliable. Fishermen may not report interactions or misreport which animals they encounter, meaning any data taken from logbooks may be unreliable. Bycatch is an issue which affects the sustainability of our marine creatures. Living in a generation where we are seeing a rise in endangered animals, it's our duty to make sure we are not perpetuating the loss of species. Once these animals are gone, they are gone for good, and that does not only affect the animals, but the ecosystems in which they live. There's not much we can do to help but be aware, know what is going on and support any action to stop bycatch. Hopefully soon it will be one less threat to these beautiful creatures' lives.